times in a row, or 3 campaigns in a row. Trust me, you're not, dude. Even his last words to you guys as a party was the thing, which I respect it. But like Cameron's grammar, just like mine, is ass.
I loved Cameron's almost guilt tripping me as Durali to either take him into the Pantheon or he's going to join Kedlis, and I was like, that's awful. Why would you do that to yourself?
You're just gonna convince yourself them to kill you. Does everyone want me to just kind of start, or?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm good to go.
I'm good.
Caleb, too?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Start. Okay. Make sure all the voices picked up. We good? I don't have any somber music. I'm sorry. We don't want to get this copyright striked and then not fucking be able to hear any of it. So,
Quick,
Just
Hunter.
imagine Daka is serenading you the whole time.
Yeah, if any of you want to, if we ever release this as a book and we can put this as its own little, episodic series, or someone wants to buy this on DVD or some shit, maybe I'll do its own soundtrack at that point.
And so the party went their separate ways.
How many pages of Daka's thoughts are there in total? I know there's not that many, but...
There's a lot. I'm thinking about expanding Daka's thoughts, since I haven't been keeping track of it, but I do remember a lot of things. I might just add to the Daka thoughts.
That's fair. All right.
I just want kazoo music, sad music in the background.
All right. Well, whatever music you need, feel free to put on in the background. So, for those wondering, the epilogue, in a sense, this is a session where the party who's gone through, written up what they want to do. I've expanded it with with the world's lore, and to kind of fit with what their character was doing, and to kind of give them the results of that. So we should be all good. So yes, starting with Tigdrick. After returning to the lair of Raktra, Tigdrick would begin to retrofit the now abandoned area into a massive craftsman's den. With a huge forge, many areas for materials, testing ranges for different devices, a new barracks to set up with those who will assist you, as blessed to you by Logolthus. The days would pass as you madly began copying the great crown of Shogun. After finally mastering the item, you would manage to create one that would be able to be removed after putting it on without the curse. As you gathered your items to begin the test, making sure that you had everything available to avoid the curse of the crown of Shogun that you have made. Now the crown of Tigdrick. The first test comes out as a success as the crown begins to work. Your intelligence skyrocketing, new ideas formulating, and you begin to redraft your entire den into a fully operational forge of death. And then finally it hits you. You realize the one thing that has been bothering you this entire time, your entire adventure in Monsters 5, a revelation that truly was groundbreaking. It wasn't a normal banana. With this grand intelligence, you begin to work on your second Herculean task. You begin to solve the Rubik's Cube puzzles. After weeks, they are finally solved, and as they begin to dance, and a congratulations illusion pops up above them, a little dance of all the little figures, showing the proud creator of it smiling excitedly for you in this illusion. Out pops a little shard of Aventium from the largest puzzle. Finally, as the Great War of the World would begin, as Kedlis and Thief would begin to declare an outright war to clear off the other's influence and claim Silencia for themselves, you would seal your workshop away and begin crafting your final masterpiece. The magic items known as Mana the Rapier and Blood the Parrying Dagger. Though many rumors of your followers searching far and wide for you would continue to circulate, the last sighting of the Death's Hammer is believed to be when a young dwarven adventurer with a strange belt would be seen talking to a large insectoid smith near Raktra. As the two would be seen exchanging words in a strange language, it is believed that this is how the Death's Hammer's items would be found in public, as this dwarf would sell them to all the local markets, trying to assist those who would serve the great Death's Hammer into managing to conquer the world. Many believe that this was all due to the great smiths known as Death's Hammer's great plan for the next generation of adventurers would be able to either save the world or rule it in his name. But that would be a story of another time and another adventure. Daka. After heading back to the territory of the Dark Elves, after seeing the vast open and empty lands, you would begin like an infection to fester within the lands themselves. Growing like an invasive mushroom species, a great horde of Dakas would be born, numbering in the thousands as you would slowly begin to expand out your influence, demanding more land. A great war with the Mountain Elves and what remained of their nation would begin. Though a small war in truth, and ending in Daka's favor, the species would be absorbed and their lands left barren, as nothing but husks of the vast, fertile lands of the Mountain Elves would be left. Word would reach your ears of a great battle happening in the Helly Lands, and with the assumption that the few 12 lords who are there would be fighting the Beyond Gods, you would command your great Wog to follow you into the depths of battle. A great Wog would follow, the army would arrive to a city under attack by a small group of adventurers, or so you thought, as you would watch the two hordes of armies fighting it out in front of you. As you would join them, a strange voice would appear in your head, offering to deal a deal for one of your Dakas in exchange for the assistance of killing Nick the Dragon Warden and saving the son of this spirit. As Daka, you once had a son, and understanding the pain of what losing them was like, you immediately agreed to work with the gentleman. The Great Wog would begin its siege on the city, slaughtering thousands and slowly expanding outwards onto the continent like a great plague that the Daka orcs would have become synonymous with. As the war would continue for several days, the Great Wog would eventually overcome the Helly, granting the Horde a new class of magic boys, specifically spelled with a K and with a Z. The last sight of Daka would be as his horde would head through a portal into Moors, as they would join Bastion's army in the conquest of killing Tensub and eventually Logolthus. Sieko. As you flew away from your party and watched them split apart and go their own way, you would immediately sensing your next step would begin to find the strongest fighters you could in the world. As you would slowly start to tracking down Centauri back in Raktra, you would manage to see Tiktik for a moment as he would wave onto you, giving you a few magic items to continue your travel with that might benefit you, and also offering a scroll that would allow you to keep contact with him through even while in Oventium. You would decide after this, spreading a few of the items out and selling them, as you realize the items themselves may not be necessarily of direct value to you. However, they could come in handy later to any servants. You started finding people that you could sell them to, hoping that they would find themselves to Oventium as servants in the future. You, along with Centauri, would now begin to head off, finding the 12th Lord Shogun, who had already managed to arrive at Oventium with his bodyguard, the Pebble, as the two were planning to head to Oventium in search for anything to stop the Beyond Gods. And partially, as Shogun had mentioned in a sit-down between the two, your groups, sensing a wizard who had returned after he had slayed him, this would eventually kind of lead to his potential of wanting to come here as he realized what could happen. Your group would stock up with the last Vedan outpost before offering a small sum of coin for passage into Oventium. As the doors would close behind you, your party would begin working together to descend. You had managed on your first try to make it as deep as the 33rd floor within a year, claiming the territory as Bastion would send out the call for the final war for Moors to begin, and the slaying of Tensub at his hands. All allies would gather and the march would begin through Moors. Equess. As you down the vial of liquid, feeling your body grow warm, then stronger, you begin to make your way through the vast continents towards Oventium. As you would travel, you would find many minor monsters who had begun claiming territory, giving you many easy but interesting hunts with creatures you had never seen before. After continuing onto the vast ocean, you would begin hunting many of the smaller fish until allowing your body to adapt to the ocean. It would take you a full year longer, you would finally arrive in Oventium. Now long abandoned, the Vedan outpost that was there when you originally left, now destroyed and broken. As you open the great doors, you begin to head past and after the last party listed on the roster, of Sieko, Shogun, Centauri, and the Pebble. Finally reaching the first floor, you finally reunite with your father and the creator as he finally gives you the gifts for Sieko. The two of you spend time talking and you learn the true secret of why you were created and your purpose. Also, that Bone Collector was of no true value if lost, and that he could shove another soul into you if you so needed. As you begin to digest this information, you head deeper within, finding Sieko on the 22nd floor. As the two of you would reunite and the group now stronger, you once more would head further into the depths that is Oventium until finally coming to rest on the 33rd floor to rest. As you begin training and get used to the stronger body you have accumulated, the call comes in from Bastion, and as Sieko confirms his going, you find yourself following, drawn by the excitement and the interest of the Beyond God's body. Bastion. After beginning your reign proper in Abaddon, you would begin to gain more and more power. With Dr. Bear, your adopted son, and the Soulstone Warforged mage, shaped eerily similar to Tick the Silversong, as your right hand, your new general robot, the Dragon Slayer, and private guard would lead your armies to conquer one after another enemies as they would continue to rise up against you and your claim to power. With your power slowly growing, you would begin to hunt down the last of the tieflings while still conquering what was the vastness of Abaddon. Realizing that a true kingdom could not be carved out, you would call yourself king and declare that anybody beyond these borders was not fit to rule. You would manage to steal away the soul of a great worm that would seem to have been sleeping deep within the depths of the tiefling capital. And with the vast army of golems, demons, and adventurers now all sworn to you, Bastion would open up the great portal with within his courtyard and begin his march to Moors to defeat Tensub and take the crown of both lands in one move. Calling out to Sieko, reminding Daka of his deal and offering the great worm's soul in exchange for Daka to come and assist. The party would gather once again, minus Death's Hammer, to march on Moors, as the expectation to kill Logalthus still fresh in their minds. The party, with their armies gathered, Daka, Equest, Sieko, and Bastion, would say this war was many would say this war was grand. Many would say it would take a millennia before it would end. Others would say the battle was over as soon as it started. Truly, no one would know what came of this war. Only that after, none of the Monsters 5 would ever be seen again. Many scholars, even in the modern era, argue if these creatures truly existed, or if they were just natural disasters that were only over-imagined by the writers of the age. The truth is, we may never know what really happened to these creatures, or if they did exist, or what their true legends were about. Were they gods? Were they foes? Were they allies or enemies to mankind? The histories are for you to judge. And thus ends the epilogue. Ugh, ow, fuck. Yes, I bumped my elbow. Any questions? Any last things? I went off the best I could with what you guys gave me for your epilogue stuff. I apologize, but if you didn't get something you wanted and you didn't mention it in your epilogue, that's on you, not me.
That's fine. I'll tell you what, Claire de Lune definitely added to it.
Glad to hear.
My only question: the D100 is that the final floor Sieko reached in the long run, or
nope? So that's what floor you got to in that time period. So it was your roll plus minus 30.
Yo,
Okay.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I thought you said he said you rolled a 33. I was like, maybe there's a chance you got a floor 100.
No, it was a D100 minus 30, no matter what he did.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Grumpy, that I didn't do as much for Tick Trick, but you gave me like 2 sentences, and I was like,
you also
right.
didn't. I thought that was just for that session, by the way. You didn't ask me for a proper epilogue.
If you want to rewrite something, I'll publish it proper in the book. Fine. Yeah. But I figure it fit with what you were going with. I felt a vague build in the background where you were building up power felt better. So. But yeah, so I went with what I could, because I assumed that's what you wanted for your epilogue, like you didn't have much planned out for the future since I didn't have any lore, so, but, yeah, we'll never learn the truth of what happens in wars and what causes, the party now, the question is, would Tick Trick join, the party to go kill Tensub, or would he stay out of it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'll say I feel up to log at that point.
That's fair. All right. Well, if no one has any questions or comments, I'll end the stream there as the epilogue for the light. We thank you all for those who have watched. The party's welcome to hang out afterwards. We'll probably chill here, but we hope this has given a final ending to the campaign. The party managed to do is what they wanted to achieve, and in the end, we learned a lot with Monsters 5. We hope you all will join us for the first stage campaign when we jump over to the 3.5 campaign. Similar system, but more refined. I'll be working with the players to make a proper monster system that will work a little bit easier for them and not give so many variables. But yes, we thank you all for watching this experiment. We hope you've enjoyed the ride, and we want to thank Grumpy for his first campaign with us.
Yep.
First one, didn't make it
No
from
deaths.
1 to 20. No, yeah, you
No
managed
deaths.
to avoid the death. Fucking rogues are OP as shit with my system. We've learned that lesson. But you
I don't know
came
about
close.
that. I think he had the most downs from when he joined to when we.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
still a rogue, my guy.
Yeah, you did. You came the
Well,
most close to dying, I think, out of everyone.
Oh,
I'm saying
I almost
that I
did die.
Well, yeah.
The one moment was when I drank the random potion that gave me the revive on death, and I literally died.
Real
No, I was
question. Go ahead.
Ian said you were OP as shit, but you died the most.
Went down the most. Any MVPs of the party that we're thinking of the group? Yes.
That potion.
Huh?
That potion.
Honestly, I think everybody had some pretty MVP moves here and there. I'll be
True.
honest.
Mhm.
It was definitely yes. So the first you guys, I will mention this for those who finish up and who continue to watch or who want to watch the first stage. So what is going to happen to Bastion, Daka, Sieko, and Equest is they will be all sent back in time during their fight. As they try to take on Tensub, they will unfortunately fail due to what Durali has done, and not be able to defeat him, and thus given a second chance and sent back into the first stage. At which point the party...
As NPCs.
Yep, as NPCs that will get to affect the world. However, they will not have their monster capabilities. They will be back down to level CR1 creatures, minus Sieko.
I don't get. Yeah, I was gonna say, do I get shunted back into Aventium afterwards?
Sieko and Equest will be going back into Aventium almost immediately, being stuck on their floor. So yeah, they won't be out in the world. But Bastion and Daka will be. Tiktrick will be stuck in the first stage with.
I am Doom. Oh, they're down there.
Yeah, unless you go to Moors, Tiktrick. Unless you do, you won't be going to the first stage. Yeah, so you'll be staying. You'll end. Your character will end here. So. Yes, what's up, kid?
So, Bastion, let's work together to become strong.
Right. Some background DM NPCs that'll be running about, may run into the party, may not.
I'm gonna give a fair thing of an offer me that I wasn't able to do. If either of you can get to Aventium, I was told Sieko's allowed to become a pact holder to help you guys, but only if you go to Aventium, even the first floor.
There you go. But no, yeah, like 100%. This was a great campaign. I'm proud of it. Great moments. The banana will never be forgotten.
Hey, that was the greatest investment ever.
Dude, I...
Five gold.
I bet, yeah, 100%. Great, fantastic material. I'm looking forward to the first stage because it's those weird moments. Like, the party had some tight moments. I definitely learned some stuff as a DM on what to avoid for the party in the future. But definitely some close moments. It's great the banana is one of the biggest moments that lives on. So
We love the banana.
we
Who would
thank
have
you all.
known what would happen without the banana?
Truly.
Maybe actual friendship.
True.
Between
We
Daka
wouldn't have
and
hated each
Tiktrick.
other.
Maybe we wouldn't have hated each other.
We thank you all though. I mean, does anybody have any last words or anything like major they want to say about the campaign or now that the campaign's over? Any last like spoilers?
Long live George Bush.
Long live George
True.
Bush.
I don't know what happened to him.
You'll never
He
know.
died.
'Cause
Yeah, I
the
forgot
party,
to ask.
The party left, yeah. So, for reference, George Bush would spend his days living on with the squirrels eventually, getting recaptured.
He didn't die in the an explosion
No,
in the
no,
cave.
he would be saved by the squirrels who would basically turn him into their own deity.
I bet, I think like the squirrels have
We
their
never finished
like
that quest.
Seal Nut 6 or something like that.
I mean, they had guard
I make
34
one-
under fucking Aaron. There we go. Couldn't remember the name.
I make one promise and hope. Sieko somehow, someway will fuck over one of the DM NPCs as leaders. I don't know which one. He'll find a way.
Fair.
Why?
Hey, Daka will get his great log once again. That's a
Listen.
promise.
Anybody else got any last words for the light campaign known as the Monsters 5 in
Oh,
Truth?
true.
Fuck the gods.
Fuck the gods.
Agreed.
All right, take
Fuck
drink,
'em.
Caleb. What was
Except
that?
for fuck him. Fuck him. Except for Goji. He's chill.
No,
And Tara.
fuck all of them.
What about you, Grumpy? Any last words?
Bonus action dash.
Thank you all.
Yeah, freaking god follower.
The
What the hell,
epilogue
bro?
is complete. We thank you all. As we close this chapter, we open another one, the first stage. For those who are interested, Grumpy will be joining into the Saturday campaign. The rest of the party will be jumping into the Sundays and Mondays. So look forward to that as we get there. More announcements to come in the near future, because for some reason we do have people that watch some of these. So thank you all, and have a good day. It's an end of a chapter.